If you're tuning into this channel, you've probably got a puppy, or maybe one on the way. Well, you're in the right place because I talk all about puppy topics here on this channel, like potty training, crate training, and even pet insurance. Yes, that's right, I'm going to be sharing my tips for picking a pet insurance plan that's best for you and your pup. It may not be something you've considered before, but I'm here to tell you all about some of the things you might want to know about as you make this important decision. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when the next video goes live. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, you might think pet insurance is a relatively new thing, but in fact, it's actually been around a while. The first pet insurance policy was written in 1890, and it focused on horses and livestock. The first policy in the US was actually written in 1980 and was for the dog who played Lassie on TV. But lately, you've probably heard a lot more about it, as people are realizing that the high cost of veterinary care and their desire to have their pets healthy and happy for a long time, it just makes sense. It's much more popular in other countries like Sweden and Britain, but here where we are in the US, it is definitely starting to become a more common thing. I used to work in a vet's office, and it was heartbreaking when an animal would come in who needed some kind of expensive treatment to prolong his or her life. And then the owner was faced with a really tough decision on whether to pay for the treatment or to put the dog down. This is a terrible choice, and most people try to avoid it if at all possible. Insurance can really help you with that. We talk about vet care being expensive, but do you know how expensive? Alright, this is a good thing to know even before you decide to get a dog. I know what you're thinking. Michelle, well, be careful. We won't let the dog get hurt. Well, I am definitely glad to hear that. And I have a whole 3-part series on how to help you make sure your dog stays safe. You can watch episode 1 here. But something as simple as going down some steps, or jumping off the couch, or even running to fetch a ball can result in an accident. It's just that, it's an accident, and accidents do happen. Pretty often, actually. Now, if a dog breaks his leg, veterinary.com says the cost could be anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000, but the national average is about $2,000. The average ACL repair surgery cost for a dog will range anywhere from about $1,000 to $5,000. My vet wanted $2,800 for our dog's ACL repair. My friend, who was going to another vet, said her dog's ACL repair was closer to $4,000. Cataract surgery? That can range anywhere from $1,400 to as much as $3,900 for both eyes. And you know that advice I always give about not putting bedding in a dog's crate until they are well past that chewing stage? Well, an endoscopy just to check to see if there's something obstructing your dog's airway, that may cost you anywhere from $800 to $2,000. That's a lot of Benjamins. And we haven't even talked about how much it would cost to remove that item. Well, someone in my Facebook group, Puppy Training with Michele Lennon, posted the other day about her dog swallowing her diamond earring. Yikes. Now that's 2 reasons to get that thing out of there. For the health of the dog and to get the earring back. It did show up clearly on the x-ray, and she was lucky that it passed on its own, but a student of mine was not so lucky when her dog ate the child's pacifier, and it had to be surgically removed, over $3,000 later. So I think I've got your attention there. Even with fluctuations in different regions of the country, vet care is just plain expensive. Pet insurance can help cover all or part of the procedure effectively, saving the life of the animal at a much lower cost to the owner. Needless to say, I recommend it for every pet owner, just like health insurance is good for humans. Now, let's talk about where to get it. You might have tuned into this video to hear which company I recommend. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. And here's why. Hang on, here's why. It's gonna depend so much on you and what your situation is. I don't want to just tell you which one is the best because there are really so many variables when it comes to picking just the right company. But I do have some tips for you on how you can decide which one is best. So before you start searching Google for pet insurance options, I recommend you make 2 calls. First, call your vet's office. They might have a company that they prefer, or one they haven't had great experience with. But the other thing to ask your vet is about any puppy wellness plans they offer. Some clinics actually have a plan for new puppies that includes all vaccines and maybe a number of office visits. Sometimes it might even include a few lab tests and even a discount on the spay or neuter surgery. Now, every vet's office will be different, but most of the time these puppy packages are a great deal. It might even be something that you use in addition to the pet insurance, or maybe you use the vet's plan first and then the pet insurance comes later. That is all part of the research process that you'll want to do when you're faced with this decision. Now, the next call I suggest you make is to your insurance agent you use for your home or on your car. Yes, you heard me right. Your normal insurance agent might be able to help you with this decision. They might even have a company they recommend or even a discount if you bundle this insurance with your car or your homeowner or your renter's insurance. And sometimes having an advocate like an agent who can work with you on your behalf can help in the event of a disagreement about a claim. Now, this may not be the case in your area, but it is worth a try. Now, a quick Google search will give you some results on the big companies like Trupanion, Embrace, or Pumpkin. Take some time to fill out some of the preliminary information. In order for them to give you a quote, you're going to have to tell them about the age, the breed, the gender of your pup, and any kind of pre-existing conditions that they may not cover. Just a note, almost all of them will not cover pre-existing conditions. In all my research, I actually didn't find one that did. When you get your quote from the different companies, you'll want to evaluate a few different things to determine which one works best in your situation. All pet insurance plans have a deductible, but some of them are per year and others are per incident. Now that can affect the monthly cost, so evaluate those figures and your own budget to see what's the best fit. Now, the other thing to figure out is the billing. Some companies will reimburse you for what you have already paid to your vet, and that might mean you have to pay several $1,000s or more first and then get reimbursed. Will that work with your budget? If so, that might make the monthly cost a little bit cheaper. Other insurance companies might pay your vet directly, which means you pay the deductible and the vet and the insurance take care of the rest. Maybe with your budget, that is a better fit. It's an important difference, so evaluate that carefully. Finally, look at the cost of the insurance per month or per quarter and see what works best for you. So you see, there are a lot of factors that go into pet insurance and figuring out which one is best for you. I hope I've made the decision just a little bit easier for you. Now, before I share my last tip, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss when another lesson goes live. Okay, you know what insurance won't help you with? The cost of puppy supplies and training. There are a lot of costs associated with having a new puppy, and you'll want to be prepared before you get one, if you don't already have him or her. Now, check out this video here for some great ideas on what you might need once that furball comes home and starts acting in ways that you don't understand. Well, I've got you covered on that too. After all, training can really help reduce the number of vet visits. You heard me say earlier that when your dog eats something they shouldn't, it can cost you into the thousands. Training your puppy not to jump on people or soar off the couch and tear an ACL can also save you thousands. Believe me, I see this way too often. My online puppy training program, 30 Days to Puppy Perfection, will guide you through all of the tough times and help you train your puppy to have good manners on leash and how to meet and greet guests nicely, bite the appropriate objects, and go potty outside, and so much more. When you know the tips to successfully train your puppy, you can rest assured they will come when called instead of running out into the road where danger comes screaming around the corner on four wheels. I can't tell you the number of people who have called me over the last 20 years as a trainer, desperately needing their pup to come on cue because they snuck out the front door. They raced down the street, and some even told me about past dogs that got hit by cars and didn't make it. They wanted their new pup to be better mannered and more reliable than their last pup. So you're definitely going to want to check out more information about the online course I offer in the description below, because ultimately it can save you on emergency vet visits or even keep your house from getting chewed up. In the comments below, tell me if you already have your puppy or if you're just researching for the future. And tell me where you're tuning in from. I always love to see where our viewers are watching from.